What's up, world? This is your guy Guitar K, and today's video is called This Ain't the Peak Though. Look, we all have weaknesses and character defects, and you gotta be looking to kill these things every day. They just don't die on their own. Look, man, I don't care how old you is. You can never just lay down and die. You gotta always be looking to better yourself in any way you can. I'm talking about bettering yourself mentally, bettering yourself physically, bettering yourself spiritually, man. Stop settling. Always be reaching for more. Always be trying to get better every day. Question: what are you doing different to make sure that you haven't reached your peak? Look. Stop settling. Look. Don't tell me that you done already reached your peak at knowledge. You mean to tell me there ain't nothing out there else that you're trying to learn? Don't tell me that you already reached your peak in hobbies. There's nothing else that you're interested in that you're trying to learn. Look, man, there's a line in the Drake song. He say that things change for us every single week. So it's good, but I know this ain't the peak though. Look, man, it's never a peak. We're always trying to get better. Don't just get settled in the same routines and humdrum life. Look, man, we were meant to always be seeking new adventures, to be seeking new conquests, to be always trying to get better. You will always have that hole in your soul. If you always just look. If your life just looked like the same movie in and out and you could just walk through it with your eyes closed, that ain't gonna work, man. That's not a fulfilling life. Look, you trying to tell me you done reached your peak physically? You don't work out no more. You don't walk no more, run no more, skate no more, dance no more. Come on, man. That ain't gonna cut it. When I think of words like better, I think of words like improving. Look. I done looked up words that's synonyms for improve. We got words like better, upgrade, refine, enhance, boost, build on, raise up, revamp, brush up, tweak, get better. Progress, develop, come along, pick up. Look, man, these is the type of words that we got to wake up with the mentality that this is how we got to live today. You can't just wake up. You remember that guy on a Dunkin' Donuts commercial? We just wake up like, oh my God, I made the donuts. Look, man, you got to be excited about life. You got to be excited about living. You got to live like you're dying because you are. So you should be always trying to live it the best that you can. Don't just settle. Like I said, this ain't the peak though. Look. You mean to tell me you done reached your peak in spiritual conditioning? It's no way. There's no way that you are as patient as you can be. There's no way that you are as kind as you can be. There's no way that you are as loving as you can be. We still got skills that we need to practice on, things that we can get better at. You know that saying, people always say stuff like, well, it could be worse. Well, I got news for you. It could be better. It can always be better. We always got things to practice on. This ain't the peak though. Look, man, it's no ceilings here, man. It's always a higher level that we can reach. Always be looking on to the next best thing. Look, when you reach a goal, set another one. And when you reach that one, set another one and another one and another one, man. Keep it going, man. Look, man, look. Don't stay stuck in your same negative habits. Don't settle for mediocrity. Never settle. One of my favorite songs that I ever written is, why would I settle? That's a question I ask myself every time, and the answer is, I can't find a reason. Never ever settle, man. Look. I guess the question is, do you want to be different? Do you want to be better? And if the answer is yes, you got to ask yourself, what are you doing to not be the same? What are you doing to make this day not the peak of your life? You got to try something different. You got to practice. You got to be better. Look, one of my favorite movies of all time, Little Shop of Horrors. I even got the tattoo of the Audrey 2 plant on my arm. You know Audrey 2, the man-eating plant. Feed me Seymour, feed me all night long. But look, one of the scenes in there, the plant shop owner, Mr. Mushnick, the three girls are standing outside of his shop. Look, two of those girls was Pam and Gina from Martin. way before they ever got on Martin. They were still teenagers. But he asked them like, look, what are y'all doing standing outside of my shop? Shouldn't y'all be at school trying to better yourselves? And their answer is, better ourselves? Mister, when you from Skid Row, it ain't no such thing.
Oh no.
See, they had lost hope because of their environment. They let their environment tell them that they couldn't be no better. They thought that their environment was their peak. Don't let that type of thinking, and so many people let that type of thinking get into their head. They just work that 9 to 5. They're like, oh, well, I guess this is the peak. I guess this is it. Look, man, it's never it. Never settled. Another one of my favorite scenes from a movie is 5 Heartbeats, when Eddie Kane Jr. be talking to Eddie Kane Sr. And he let what his father tell him at first, you know, that I ain't shit. So that means you ain't never gonna be shit. Look, man, this ain't the peak though. Look. Don't let outside influences tell you what your peak is. You always shoot for higher. You always swing for the fences. You always shoot for the moon. And if you miss, at least you amongst those stars, man. Look, like I said, this ain't the peak though. Ask yourself today, what am I doing to make myself better? What am I doing to get in better shape? What am I doing to be in better health? What am I reading or watching that's going to make me better and stronger mentally, make me smarter, man? Look, it's on you. These things is not going to happen by magic. The knowledge is not going to get in you by osmosis. You got to be intentional about your learning today. You got to be intentional about your craft, sharpening your skills, getting better at life. This ain't the peak though. We're going to climb higher, man. We're going to keep rising to the top. This is your guy, Guitar K. Be more